is going on, guys, and welcome back to the Hawks Hangout, presented by the one and only Basketball Fix. Massive shout out to the boys. Go and check out their Instagram page. They are posting heaps of off-season it's absolutely ridiculous.
Quality, different jobs for different players. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely ridiculous. And as always, proudly powered and sponsored by the legends over at Principal Brewing, and enable you to go and check out their socials. Go and give them some love. Corey, it's been a hell of an off season already to start things off, mate. So we'll get straight into it. What's going on with the Hawks with their signings,
mate? I just want to mention we've got our championship gear, mate. We've waited 24 years to get some championship gear, but how good's the jersey?
Too good.
Hats, you got one of the ones that the players have got, so pretty epic. We're pretty stoked with all that sort of stuff. But great thing for the Hawks is that they've gone straight into free agency and hit it pretty hard. This is not usually what the Hawks do. Often in their history, they've been a little bit left behind in free agency, but they've taken control early and pretty much sewn up their local talent for the next season, which is a great thing. So we've got some big signings. Big Toddy, surprised by the length of the deal, but I'm quite happy. I think he's a really great contributor for the Hawks off the bench. He's got a 3-year deal.
Yep.
We've got Grids there for an extra 2 years, which is great. He said he definitely wanted to stay. He loves it here. We've got Peatling, another great leader for our club. I think this is a great signing. He's there for another 2 years. And Froling, who were a little bit concerned about where he's had a lot of interest, but obviously with the injury, he also said that he definitely wants to stay, which is great. He loves this club. I've even heard he stayed us previous contract. He got big offers to go elsewhere and stay with us for less money. So I'm stoked for Sammy to get this new contract. I hope he gets the payday that he deserves in this contract. So super stoked with that. We've got all those guys signed up. We've got Lee also took his option. He's a bit of a fan favorite, a bit of a cult hero. Every person I tend to ask who's your favorite player, Lee gets mentioned a lot. So yeah, it's good game 3, Lee. So it's great to have him back as well. Obviously, my son's favorite player, so he'll be really happy with that. We've only got 2 import spots remaining to sign, so it's going to be interesting. I want to talk a little bit about that, bud.
Yeah, look, it's funny to also mention in there as well with our development players. Obviously, Luca has re-signed back on. We've also got Kobe McDowell-White signing back on as a development player. Both of those boys are still in there. There's also a few things going on surrounding the backgrounds. There has been news that has come across our desk that Zach Triplett has declined his player option, so he will be a free agent and more than likely test the free agent market. Or will potentially get re-signed to some new restructured deal. There's no word yet as on Brad Ballinger, but considering he's playing with our NBL1 East team at the moment, wouldn't surprise me if we see him back in the black and red next season. However, though, our potential import spots, Corey. Now, there's been a lot of news in our talks, in our chats, across Instagram, across all of the platforms lately, that the Hawks are in a 2 to 3 year kind of deal talks with Trey Kell at the moment.
Yeah.
Now, whether that deal sees him stay long term, or it's a 1 year deal with a 2nd-year option, or 2-year deal with a 3rd-year option, whatever it kind of looks like, it really depends for Kell, or he may test the open market to go and get bigger money. But considering we've already got Harvey locked away, we've got Froling locked away, we've got everyone locked away, we can kind of spend a little bit more money on these import spots. But the one thing that I'm kind of a little bit disappointed about at the moment is our man, the Thunder. There's been a lot of talk surrounding our big man, Darius Days, potentially not coming back to the Hawks.
Okay.
Now, for me, this is a really big issue. He was super, super young. There was a lot of pressure to put on him to come in and fill that spot that the guy who's been talked about a lot recently, Gary Clarkin, returns to the Hawks. He left a big hole, and they tried filling it with a Darius Days sized Band-Aid, and unfortunately he fell short, and I feel like he has copped a lot of slack because of it. Now, I personally believe they should keep him. They should see how he goes for another year. Those last 2 games where they started him again, he played pivotal minutes because Froling was out, and he provided the goods. Okay, he had 2 and 2 in in the championship game, but
he didn't play. He played minimal minutes.
It was
So I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Kell should be a priority. I think Kell was a key to this championship run. We said it all year. Having that bigger point guard in this league is a big advantage. There's obviously a lot of smaller point guards in our league because they're obviously super talented, but because of their size, can't get to the NBA because they're just undersized, so they struggle to defend. But when you've got that advantage of having a classy, bigger point guard in Trey Kell, it's a matchup disaster for a lot of other teams. And we expose a lot of teams with that, I think, this year. So I think it would be a nice fit, especially if we've got that, having that pretty much the same team back. Hopefully we can hit the ground running to start the season next year, get off to a real start while other teams are still trying to find their fit and get combinations right. But the other import spot, it's going to be key. Like, I feel for Darius because obviously he didn't get his best chance to show himself, but he was still part of a championship team, and you can't deny that.
No.
And he did have some games where he contributed really well. And you know what? Like we always said, he doesn't have to contribute every single game, but he had some really key moments in the grand final series. I believe he came up with some big plays and some big shots when we needed him. So you can't take that away from him. I tend to agree. I think if we have to make some sort of change, it's probably going to be there.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be disappointed if he comes back, but obviously if we can get Gary Clark, that's huge. He's played with us before.
Yeah.
You know that he's a great team guy. He'll fit in with what Tatum likes. He's well liked by the squad. Obviously, he didn't come back last time. It was probably like a bit of a money issue. He's probably regretting not being involved in this championship because obviously people who play sport, like obviously they all like to have some money, but they are competitors. They want to play. They want to win. All right, that's a huge part of it. So who knows what's going to happen there? But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that, especially if they don't sign Kell. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of good point guards out there, but what way are they going to go? Yes, lots of things to think about, mate.
Also, the biggest missing piece coming back to this squad is obviously the whole Froling injury.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Lachy Olbrich has gone and declared for the NBA draft, and a big, massive shout out to him because that's huge.
Yeah, huge.
For a 21-year-old to go and nominate himself to be on a global scene like the NBA. It's absolutely huge, and it is a testament to what he has done so far with his career and what the Hawks have done for him to boost his career even further. But the Froling side's whole is just one of those things, Corey, where it's a potential. Does Harry Froling come in? There's been a lot of talks about Harry coming in, being a nominated replacement player for Sam. There's been a lot of talks in the background, but you go down the route of, well, okay, you don't have Kell coming back next year and you don't have Days coming back next year. That's 2 import spots there.
Yeah.
For you to potentially go out and splash the absolute cash when you've got things like Summer League coming up. Now, obviously, Big Joe Sirkin will be over there. All of the NBL coaches, NBA coaches, anyone who is anyone will be over there watching the Summer League because it's people trying to make a name for themselves.
Yeah.
And I see the Hawks at least keeping 1 import spot and bringing home an overseas import of some big form, whether it's a stretch 4, whether it's a 5.
Well, they're going to have to I think one of those import spots is going to have to be a big, just like you mentioned, like we're not going to have Sammy with his injury for the majority of next season. And obviously if Days is not going to come back, we're going to need to have an import big. It's going to be essential, but I agree with you in regards to that Summer League. I know Tatum players are going to be attracted to wanting to play for him. Obviously, his name's out there. He came in, and I'm going to say, arguably the best decision in Hawks franchise history was signing him as coach. Obviously, when Jackomas got sacked, he was already in and around the team, but people talked about, like me included, his experience and was he going to be like up to this? But he's proven the doubters wrong, and it's definitely the best decision in Hawks franchise history. He's come in, he's got us our first championship in 24 years. Now there's talk about him like his son Celtics were watching the game 5. So there's going to be talk. Players in the NBA are going to be like, well, Tatum's dad's coaching. Like it's an opportunity. There's going to be eyes on him as a coach in the NBA because he's got ambitions of going further in his coaching career. So players know this. If there's NBA eyes on a coach and he's coaching you, those eyes are also going to be on the players. So there's opportunities for players and American imports want to have those eyes on them because everyone has those aspirations of being in the NBA. So I think, there's going to be potential for us to pick up a bit of a gem in Summer League. So I do like that idea. I do like the idea, though, that we will have the majority of our team set with maybe one import spot available there to pick someone come in late. I think that's a great option. But with Harry Froling potentially coming in as well. But like you said, like Days, I know he started the year as a starter and became a bit of a six-man. But with no Days, potentially no Kell, but hopefully Kell, no Froling, there's like 2 starters plus a 6-man out. So we need to find some quality to fill. Yeah. Obviously, Lachy Olbrich too. We don't know what's going to happen with the NBA draft. Like my prediction would be if he's going to get picked, it would be maybe late second round. So a team may pick him, but also say, but we want you to keep developing. You can go back to the Hawks for another season and play and see what happens, and we might take you on. I think that would be the most likely for Lachy, which would be great. So hopefully he does get drafted. It'll be pretty exciting to see another Hawk drafted after LaMelo Ball and AJ have already. So, we're producing NBA talent.
For a small local club that's got the whole world watching them at the moment.
That's it.
It's pretty good. Now, the biggest off-season news. It's the shot quite literally heard all around the world at the moment, but big shot taker, big shot maker. Mate, what a ridiculous shot. That's it. How do you hit that is what
it was actually crazy. That shot was nothing but net. Mate, he's just playing with so much confidence. Harvey's been with the Hawks for multiple seasons now. I know lots of fans, when we were struggling, were like, oh, should we go another way? He had a great first season, then sort of plateaued a little bit. And then this year, he I think it was he just found the fit with the other players around him, and it just suited his playing style. I think Kell was great for him. And obviously, he flourished under Tatum's coaching, which I think Tatum's very much like, mate, you shoot the ball, back yourself. That's what your role is for us. And he gave confidence, and he's just finished that round and come out and Shanghai must have only signed him for it because their season's
3 games playing for them. Yeah,
crazy. And he already had little figurines of him and they loved him. And to come out and hit a game winner like that, which I believe kept them in the playoff hunt or maybe got them in the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's a huge shot. It was so deep, and it's just like typical Tyler Harvey. Now he's gonna be known as, that phrase is going to be all the time now. People are going to
global phrase. It'll be bumper stickers. It'll be cars. It'll be T-shirts. It'll be whatever you want to make.
That's great.
Now, the biggest off-season news, and I'll let you talk about it a little bit more, but our main man himself, the big Tatum. Now, he's obviously gone and inked himself like a few other people have recently to commemorate this championship, but he's gone and put himself on his back kissing the trophy. It's a big, massive, beautiful piece. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out on his Instagram. It is absolutely a beautiful piece. But you've got a little bit of news about him, so I'll let you talk, and I'm going to sit back and try and not have my mind blown.
Do I have news? I don't know if I have news.
I don't know. You just wanted to talk about
I wanted to talk. I've already spoken about the Tatum thing. I wanted to talk about how I think that he was the greatest decision in our franchise history, really. But obviously, he's going to have eyes on him, like I said before. He has signed, he's supposed to be with us for another 2 years. Whether he sees the end of that, hopefully we at least have him for next year. You can't deny someone who wants to have ambitions to go further in their coaching. He's delivered us a championship, and I've said many times I'm not greedy. Obviously I want us to keep doing well, but man, this championship could satisfy me for another 24 years. I'm not a greedy person, so Like, I'm not going to stand in the way. Like, if we missed out this year and lost that game 5, I would have been Davo if we lost Tatum, because then we sort of go back to scratch, and it's tough. But once he's delivered a title, it's hard to stand in someone's way of chasing their dream. So, but yeah, Tatum, greatest decision in Hawks franchise history.
Now, moving on to some more statistics, our favorite kind of area on the show. We'll start off in our New Zealand NBL. Now, we've got our Hawke's Bay Hawks with Grida, Lachy Yates, and Big Wani Swakala-Bullock. Now, they've only played a few games, having some time off after our championship series, but coming back into it, the boys across 2 games. Grida has had an impressive 32-7 in his first game he played, and a 33-7 in the second game he played. So absolutely splashing the points, consistent on the rebounds and the assist ends of the floor. Luca started off a little bit rocky with a 2-9 split in his first game, and then having a 10-13-0 split in his second game.
Nice little double-double there.
Nice little double-double. And Corey, our man Wani,
what? Wani, again, obviously, like, he's not going to usually rack up points. That's not his game, but solid from him with 16, 1-3, and 10, 2-3. But for me, for the Hawke's Bay Hawks, the story is Grida. So it's great to see him, like, racking up some points. Like, I'd really love to see Grida come back next year and be a bigger piece in our games. Like, he's got the talent, and he's super athletic. He can get to the bucket. If he continues to develop that 3-point shot, like, he's going to be a really special player in the NBL. Obviously, injuries have hampered him throughout his career. I just really hope he can have at least one season where he can actually really, really, truly show everyone his ability and produce these, obviously not these types of numbers in the NBL, but like averaging like 10 points a game and 5 rebounds or something like that. I think he has the potential to be that type of player in the NBL, and I really, really love that for him, because he's like, obviously his perseverance has been like exceptional, and he's just a really great teammate and a really great guy, and he was desperate to stay with the Hawks. So I would love for him to have a big season. But man, in this New Zealand NBL, guy, come on, just give him the MVP trophy already,
and give it to the person who actually deserves it.
Well, Delhi's not in the New Zealand NBL, so we should be okay. But our man, Davo, the deadly love bite, Hickey, he has been spectacular. Now, in the NBL, he flirted multiple times with triple doubles, but he's not flirting no more. All right, he's sealed the deal. All right, he's gone on many dates. He's not flirting anymore. He's picked up 3 triple doubles and almost a 4th one. Like, and these stat lines are ridiculous. 29, 11, and 11, 31, 10, and 11, 31, 10, and 11, and 27 and 8. He is totally dominating this New Zealand NBL, and it's incredible to see. And you know what? I just mentioned Grida, and I just come to me now, like, I'm hoping Grida, like, Davo's had an exceptional jump in one season. We saw it coming. Like, he showed signs, and like I said, my man Mickey D was predicting him to be the MVP of the league. That's how he saw that potential in him. And I think if Grida could potentially have a similar sort of jump, he's a similar style player to Hickey. He's super athletic. He can do those Euro steps through. He can get dunks when you need. He's really strong defensively. So he has that sort of game, which is great in the NBL. And, mate, it would be great to see Grida just have that explosion too, and have a Davo Hickey style season. But, man, Hickey is the MVP of this New Zealand NBL. It's incredible, the numbers that he's putting up.
And there's no doubt about it. As you said, he was flirting with it so many times throughout the season. Was starting to get called Mr. Consistency by absolutely everyone, because he was consistently just putting in the effort on both ends of the floor, and you can tell. And if anyone has not gone and watched a game over on your NBL app or wherever you can get it on your KO, wherever you're going to watch it from, just go and watch a game and simply just watch the way Davo Hickey plays.
Mm.
And that goes for any team, any club, any player. I don't care if you support Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Just go and watch one single game from Davo Hickey at the moment, and you can't deny what that man is doing.
Yeah. His confidence is obviously through the roof, and it's great to see because, again, he's another story of like perseverance.
Yeah.
I was a DP and moved around the league multiple times, couldn't really get his chance. I remember the first time I saw him play was I think it was when LaMelo Ball came for a preseason game, and the Hawks played an Indigenous select all-star team. And he played, and I was like, who's this guy? He had like 30, and I'm like, wow, how's this guy not playing in the NBL? And then he ended up being, but he never really got a chance until he came to us, and it's just a great story. Like, so good. And it's great for the Indigenous communities and like a great role model for those kids coming through. So super, super happy for Davo.
And lastly, our NBL1 East, Illawarra Hawks, taking it all the way back to the days at the good old Snakey.
Yeah.
Now, Josh and I had a lot of banter the other week on the free agency fix. If you haven't gone and checked out the episode, go and check it out. Leave us a comment. We're covering everything to do with the Hawks free agency, and a lot of stuff has happened since there. Mm-hmm. So keep an eye out on all of our socials for more signings and everything to come. But the biggest story from that was the Hawks just taking it back to where it all began, playing in their roots, playing at the Snake Pit. But they've got some local talent, and they've got some now championship pedigree in that team. So it obviously consists of Blanchfield, Kobe McDowell-White, Brad Ballinger. But we've got imports in there, such as our Matty Mims as well. Yeah. And all four of those boys have been contributing on and off the court as well. So in our first game back in NBL, keeping it going.
It was a great atmosphere too.
Great atmosphere.
They had the championship trophy there. The players who were still around, like Hickey and Froling and Luca and Wani, Grida, they were all there supporting the team, and it was easy for the fans to interact with them because it's obviously like a different style of venue, so it's quite open. And it was really cool to be there and get to get photos with the trophy, but also with the players and have a chat to them. It was really, really cool. But man, they put on a show too. They played the defending champions, the Maitland Mustangs, and knocked them off 96-88. And Toddy Blanchfield was spectacular. 31, 16 rebounds. He's just an absolute rebounding machine in the NBL1 East. But he wanted you to make sure you didn't forget. Mate, he had 5 blocks, and one was like on a 3-pointer that led to a breakaway dunk. So Toddy was like evergreen. Toddy turning back the clock, and it was great to watch. Kobe I thought it was like a quiet game, but his stats was pretty 26 and 7 in a quiet game. It's pretty impressive. And Matt Mims on his pro debut was very, very nice. I like his style of play. He's an energy guy. He plays at both ends. 16, 8, and 6 was pretty impressive. So I really like Matty. And then there's talk that we might have a little interview with Matty coming up. We hopefully this is going to be in the works, but it'd be great to catch up and hear his story about where he came from and his basketball journey. So what happened next? We won. So we're 1-0, mate. And then the next week we went away.
We went all the way up to the Comets Stadium to play the Sydney Comets, and there was a lot of smack talk coming into this game. It was Anthony Mundine's team. There was Chopper Dool. He was,
Wiley Bales there?
Well, yeah, but Wiley was supposed to be playing in that team, but he's coming back and forth between something. So they are missing him at the moment, but
he's a big out.
He's supposed to be playing in that team. So there was a lot of smack talk heading into this game before it. And again, chopping the head off a giant, we went in there and we came out with a 84-77 win. Again, Toddy was absolutely everywhere. He had 19 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist. He's loving just absolutely getting up and getting it done at the moment. We had Kobe dropping absolutely huge 32 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. And our main man, Matty Mims, with a 17, 6, and 2 split. So averaging quite a lot of points, rebounds between them all. but lacking a little bit of team ball. They seem to be shooting the three a lot, and it has cost them a game, which it did last night. Corey, what was the stat line from that game, mate?
Yeah, so they did go down to the previously winless Newcastle Falcons pretty easily, actually, 84-68. So a bit of a disappointing result. I did look at the box score, and I felt like there was a few of our key bench players who went there. We tend to be playing our main guys big minutes, and that tends to happen a fair bit in the NBL1 East. But I think it's really important if you want to be a contender, you've got to have at least a couple of guys off the bench who are probably playing that 10 to 15 minutes and contributing. So I think we lacked that a little bit. And, it was probably like both Toddy and Kobe's worst games of the season, stat-wise anyway. Yeah. So Kobe's had 9, 6, and 6. Toddy, 13 points, but huge 15 boards, 5 assists. Marin had a big game. He had 17 and 6. He was pretty impressive. And Matty Mims with 18 and 4. So some decent contributors, but that's probably those 4 players probably score the majority of our points. So yes, you need to get more like contributors if you're gonna be getting in the hundreds, which is probably what you really need to do, or late 90s to get wins in the NBL1 East. But the next game they've got coming up. It's an important game, and you might see the jersey that I've got on. This is the Anzac Day jersey that they brought out last season, and I believe they're going to have another very similar version this season. So it's a bit of a tradition now. They started it last year, and we play the Sutherland Sharks at their home court on Anzac Day. So I believe the girls tip off at 3:30 and the boys 5:30. Yeah. So if you're not doing anything on Anzac Day, you're not into watching the Dragons get flogged by the Roosters, you might come down the freeway and see the Hawks take on Sutho, and this might be a bit of a draw card. So Sutherland had a huge signing, and it's a little bit annoying, but they've signed the big man Kawhi Noi, and he should absolutely tear NBL1 East to pieces. So he obviously is a special talent. We've had him on our flog watch before, but like I've said before, that's not judging how good he is on the court, and he is an absolute special talent. Like, he's worth the price of admission, which probably isn't very much at NBL1 East game. So
$10.
Yeah, so he could be worth that, and it's going to be a really good matchup because the Hawks have some talent too, but it's going to be interesting to see who guards him. And the Sutherland Sharks also have a former Illawarra Hawk back in the day, Luke Jamison. He's made a little comeback to come back to the NBL1. He had a nice little game the other day. We saw our man SJ interview him on the Love of the Game, and he had a nice little game, Luke. So he's back out of, I'm assuming, basketball retirement, and it seemed like he was really enjoying himself. So I'm sure he's going to be definitely up for this game against his former Hawks. Yeah. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But after that, so after Anzac Day, the Hawks then come home and play on the day after, on Saturday, at the Snake Pit. And it's a chance for them to get revenge on Newcastle, who they just played last night. And so that will be very interesting. So back-to-back games will be tough. I think this will be the first time that they've done that, especially when these guys who we talked about are playing big minutes. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how Flinney manages that on Anzac Day, knowing that they're going to come back and play the next day, if they're going to play big minutes or not. So it should be very exciting, mate.
It's a very exciting time for the Hawks at the moment. There's a lot going on. There's been a lot going on in and around the community at the moment. Obviously, big news coming out of Lord Mayor Tanya Brown's office. She has granted our boys, our 2025 NBL champions, the keys to the city.
Love it.
Going along with some great names like local swimming legend and hero, Emma McKeon. And the big man himself, congratulations to him. He's gone back and done it. We're bringing 2 championships home to the town. But Alexander, the great man,
Volkanovski, mate, we're the championship city at the moment. He might have to get those keys to the city. Hawks might not have them for very long.
Look, I think all 3 of them.
7 world titles for the great man. Absolute legend.
Absolute legend. All 3 of them have received keys to the city. There will be a whole big ceremony. But the Hawks will receive their keys to the city on opening night of tip-off for the 25-26 NBL season.
Raise that banner.
When we raise that mighty high banner, and please let it be against Melbourne United, because all I want to see is Chris Goulding cry again. Please.
Well, there's rumours he's going to retire.
Well,
that's
retire.
Surely not.
Surely not.
Can't finish on that. He can't. Like, I love or hate him. He is great for the NBL.
He'll go join another team.
No.
Just do that instead.
Way.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if Delhi can do it, why can't Chris?
No way. Like, he had the opportunity, I thought, when the Tassie came in to be like their sort of franchise guy, because he's obviously from Tassie. I thought that was his chance. I can't see it. But I actually would be disappointed if he retires. He had a great season. I know these are the sort of guy that people love to hate, but they're the sort of characters that are great for the NBL. It creates interest, and there's no doubt he creates plenty of interest. And we've already lost Bryce Cotton. I think it would be pretty tough on the NBL if they lose Bryce and CG43 in the same season. So I, for one, I don't want him retiring. We want him back. I don't really care who we play in the first round. It can be the Kings even if we want, like whatever. Like just raise that banner. How good. I think I'll have another tear in the eye that night, mate.
And speaking of people leaving, before we leave off this episode, there's a lot of news coming around imports at the moment, but some big outs. Obviously, we've got Bryce Cotton leaving. You know, it's a sad and sorry day for the league. He's done wonders for the league in the past 9 years. So we thank him for his service. And obviously, I'm sure a lot of people will be watching his games no matter where he goes.
Yeah.
But a few other massive names. Obviously, we've had Darius Days, but Matt Hurt, Matt Mooney, Kendrick Davis, Taco Fall, Jarrell Martin, and the big man himself, Montrezl Harrell, all expected not to come back to the league next year. So whether or not it's a baiting field or if it's just one of those things where it actually just genuinely because they can't come back or they don't want to come back, we'll see what happens.
I think long gone are the days. Back in the 90s, imports would like hang around, like Leonard Copeland and guys like that would play multiple seasons, move around a few different teams. I think Tyler Harvey is a bit of a rarity, and so is Bryce Cotton. They're guys who sort of stuck around for a bit. The rest imports sort of come and go. Obviously, they get offered big money, especially in the Asian market. It's hard to knock it back, like we obviously saw there, Gary Clark. He was spectacular in his only season. It'd be nice to see him come back, but who knows what's going to happen there. But I think that's just the nature of the league at the moment. Like, I think players come here to show what they've got, and then they get picked up and get that payday. But mate, there's plenty of good imports out there. It was just going to give someone else a chance to come in and show what they've got. Like, we know it's no cupcake league, so it's one of the greatest leagues in the world. So yeah, bring it on. Bring it on, absolutely. That is all we have time for. We love and appreciate every single one of you. Few massive shout outs, obviously. Again, Basketball Fix. Go and check them out on absolutely everything on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, whatever you use. Go and do it all. Principal Brewing enable you to get down there, check them all out, come and have a beer with us. And a big massive shout out to Jace Murray. He is the admin and creator of the Sandbox Facebook page for everything Hawks related. He has designed and created with myself our new website, which will hopefully be launching in the next few days or so. So a big, massive shout out to him. If you haven't already, go and put yourself in the Facebook page. It's a great little community page that we've got going in there. That's all from us. As always, Corey. Well, Hawks fly. We'll see you at the NBL1 home games.